Welcome back to the Unanimous Decision Podcast. I am your host, DPalm. Follow me on Blue Sky, Instagram, all your socials at DPalm66. Follow the show at UDPod. Follow the entire MTR network at, you guessed it, the MTR network. You found us. Don't you dare lose us. Subscribe on iTunes, subscribe on Spotify, subscribe everywhere at your podcast for free $99. You can even subscribe on YouTube now. That's right, YouTube, dragging this podcast in 2015. One episode at a time, brought to you as always by DanielPalmerMortgages.com. If you can afford your rent, you can afford a mortgage. It's my job to help you qualify. You can follow my Instagram account, Daniel Palmer Mortgages. That's where all the mortgage related content goes, all the questions you got that you may want to answer, you're afraid to ask. Don't be afraid. Let's get some answers for you. Let's get you into the home that you and your family deserve. But that's not why you're here. You're here to talk about sports. You're here to talk about sports because I'm an old friend of the pod, Nata Edwards. What up, Nata? How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. We're just two friends just talking about basketball because basketball is good, friend. The basketball is very good.
I'm so happy. So tired because West Coast get it together. But this first round was so much fun. Like west to east, east to west. Like I loved there's even the Thunder series I thought was interesting. Like there wasn't any series where I was like, get these losers off my screen, except for, of course, the Hawks.
Yeah. Yes. 61, again, down by 61.
It's a lot of points.
Oof. That's a lot of points.
Too many. All right, I'll say it. Too many points. It's too many points. Yeah. Hot take. That's too many points to be down by a playoff game.
Cancun on 3 like a mug. That's all.
And if anyone's earned it, it's those gentlemen in the back half of that season. I'm glad. I hope they enjoy themselves, put their feet up. CJ McCollum's not getting any younger. I don't know what next year holds, but I tell you what, I said this when they brought him over, and evolve the roster. Quinn Snyder can coach his ass off.
Yes.
And when you got guys like the young, all the length they give him, I joke like they built the team out of wings, but in reality, some of these wings are actually pretty good. And aside from the giant miss on Zachary Richechet, which collecting DNP CDs down 60 ain't a good look. It's not. But we'll talk about
he's going to be off the team next year, though. That's the thing. He's not going to be on this squad. And I'm going to be honest with you, y'all have a pretty good outlook. I know draft picks aren't real to you until they actually draft it. I understand.
These kids aren't even basketball players. Before we get to the basketball, there's a couple of things I want to talk about. Didn't have a show on Friday because Felder and I's schedules were nuts. Shout out to North Carolina exercising May Day for those teachers who are basically on strike, man. Good for them. Send a message, man. There are, and also we're recording this on May the 4th. So I know you're a Star Wars nerd. I'm a Star Wars nerd. The story of the most recent trilogy, everyone has their own opinions. I just want to say this. The shot of the galaxy coming together, not of X-Wings, we're talking about the Millennium Falcon, the Ghost, some other ships you recognize coming together as people fighting to save themselves, not being saved by some army, is prescient in these current times.
Absolutely. And I just wish, you know what I'm going to say. I just wish we didn't complain about Rian Johnson's The Last Jedi, because it took the story forward in a way that only J.J. Abrams could have taken it back in the most reductive way possible.
I'm not doing this tonight. I will say this. I'm not getting dragged into this tonight.
Lens flare.
You know who made it then, didn't you? It's called a signature. Now to have a little artistry in your life. But in all seriousness, man, Star Wars is awesome. You should like Star Wars.
Yes.
Because Star Wars in your life. So the date, I forgot, I wrote it down when it happened. I think it was the 1st. So LIV Golf died.
Yes.
And by died, I mean the Saudis Public Investment Fund has now pulled their funding after washing about $6 billion since 2022. Yes. And you say, what did you get for this? And I say WrestleMania.
Yeah, exactly. You got a foothold in American sports. That's the thing.
An inexorable one.
They got a really good foothold, and they're only going to get more, especially when you start really thinking about who's going to be investing in NBA Europe.
And then you ask questions like, I don't know where the money's coming from in A&M. Anyway, what?
Or Florida
Whoops!
State.
Was that out loud? Is this mic on? Yeah, that's so now. Like you're like me, like you're of the world, but we don't like the world the way it's become. If you are one of the golfers who took the money, except Phil Mickelson can never go back. Sorry, Phil.
Yeah,
it's over. You're done. You now play pro-ams and with rich friends, and that's probably going to help you close your life going forward. But it's over. No more competitive golf for you. Yeah. For the rest of the guys, there's been like pitches of like they have to re-earn their tour cards. I like that. How do you look the dudes in the eyes who took the money, man? Like, and I know this is like a level of like personal accountability that's very rare in this day and age, but like we saw you take the money for this thing that was designed to kill this thing that originally made you money.
So I'm of two minds on this. Because if you're like Dustin Johnson, some of the guys higher up on the tour, like you sold out because they were just going to give you a guaranteed payday and you were going to make money. You were going to make money regardless. You're the son-in-law of Wayne Gretzky. Again, you're going to be fine. Those guys, I really don't have any sympathy for. But there are other guys like Harold Varner III, guy from like nearby Gastonia.
Okay.
He was going to have a hard time making his way in the PGA regardless. He was going to scuffle. He took the payday. I don't blame him because those are the guys that whose checks weren't guaranteed. If you were going to take a guaranteed check, and granted, it's from probably the worst people on the earth to take the check from. I understand that. But we still got to eat. And if you're telling me there's guaranteed money, and for a lot of these guys that weren't really going to qualify or weren't really going to win tournaments, I kind of don't blame them. And
I'm not saying,
I understand.
I'm not outside of Phil. Like I'm not really assigning blame. I know I did say like you tried to kill this thing, and that was kind of the decision. But like, I guess more nakedly, you're right. It's not blame so much as I can understand the reasoning, even if it would never. I couldn't. It falls outside my personal sense of ethics.
Yes, it does.
However,
I understand that.
And guess what? Mine are not yours, and I can't. And therapy's taught me that trying to assign my own ethics to other people is a great way to go crazy.
Yes, that's the first thing they teach you.
Shout out therapy. Yeah. But I will say this: there has to be a price.
Yeah.
If you want to come back, and like you said, some of those fringe guys, hey man, take your money and go sell insurance. You're good.
Probably. And also, like, if you took your money and you did something wise with it, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be. Let's be honest. You did something wise with it, you're gonna be fine. Like the Harold Varners of the third. If you blew it, then yeah, you're gonna have to probably go through Q school again, and you're probably gonna have to go on Corn Ferry. You're probably going to have to come up the hard way. You're probably not going to go to the Masters anytime soon.
No.
That is your penance. But I'm okay with the folk. Again, I'm okay with the penance. I just, like I said, I'm okay with the consequences, but I also understand why a lot of these dudes took the money.
Look, human nature is human nature, whether we like it or not. It is what it is. But I'm with you in the saying that taking the money, there's got to be some sort of there's a price. There's got to be some restitution. I'm out. Like we tried. Nice, good looks. Gave it a shot. We're out. No, can't be that. I want to clean up some draft stuff happened. I haven't really had a chance to talk about it with someone. Just when the fans of your team of the college the guy played for are confused about his draft, Ty Simpson, and Ty Simpson is not a big man. I guess he's listed at 6'1", and he measured at the combine 6'1" and 3/4 or something. And it's like no one's ever been under measured in a press guide ever.
Nope,
it's never happened.
Nope.
So someone's lying about something. But do you see him as like? Is this the final step of the arrogance of this coaching generation? Like Sean McVay, like I can win with him.
are we sure it was Sean McVay that wanted to do this? Because if you start looking at like the initial reactions,
I
sounded like
believe they jettisoned the quarterback that took him to the Super Bowl to get that man Matthew Stafford. I believe that he works hand in glove with that front office. I don't believe of all the positions on the field, you would give Sean McVay a quarterback he was not at least mostly in on. You know what I'm saying? Like, of all the things that you're going to override Sean McVay on, and guess what? If I got to sell it to Matthew Stafford to the back of the arena, I'm going to kick it. I'm going to spit. Yeah, whatever, kiddo. Click. You see that, Matt? I still got you. Because guess what? I don't give a shit how old Matthew Stafford is, how bad his back looked. That's the reigning MVP. And you're saying
you got to keep his interest. Yeah.
You're saying we're not only not going to get you something that helps you right now, we're literally drafting your replacement. The show's got to be made. And if that's what Sean McVay did, and maybe I'm giving him like too much credit, that's what I would do. If I had to sell something to the back of the arena, sell it.
I would too, but the problem is it wasn't very good of a sales job. Like
I didn't say he's an actor. I said he's a coach.
Yeah, but still, you know what I'm saying though. If you're going to sell that, you got to sell it a lot harder because you could have gotten a Mekhi Lemon, something different from what the receivers that you do have. Casey Concepcion in LA works perfectly. Like, if you tell me they draft a slot receiver to go in between them big dudes, like to just add some scheme versatility, it makes a lot more sense.
How about a Ruben Bain? How about some edge pressure? How about we put situations where we're up and we've got we're able to nurse a lead? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of different ways to help that football team. Backup quarterback isn't one of them.
This is the decision how, like, let's be real here. These are the type of decisions that kill dynasties quicker.
I mean, Stafford's not leaving.
No, it's not. But remember, it's always 2 years down the line. Hey, they could have had player X. Instead, they have Ty Simpson. Those are the things that hasten
it's really good they're doing it in a small market like LA. I think that's a good thing. This will never leak.
Exactly.
Other draft insanity I want to talk about doesn't deal with a pick at all. This is in a UDFA, undrafted free agent. So I used to be a sports agent, for those who don't know. Mm-hmm. And occasionally my guys would slip to UDFA. I remember the first time we had a kid drafted, it was amazing. I remember the first time we negotiated a UDFA deal, and I learned a lot because you have people who are like, hey, we like you in the process, hey, we like you in the process, hey, we like you in the process. And then all of a sudden, you're picking destinations. And I'm pulling depth charts. And I'm trying to see who's got the best chance for you to create a situation where you can win or at least get seen by people who are going to have jobs other places next year. I've made that decision.
Yes.
Been like, hey, this staff's got guys who've been shortlisted other places. Go out there and have a great camp. Make the team, don't make the team, practice squad, whatever. Have a great camp. Impress that lineman. Impress that line coach. Impress and be a professional every second you're in the building because everyone's going to have a job next year. And you want to make sure you're one of the people with a job. I say that and say this. Diego Pavia signed a 3-year deal. Jesus.
Camp we'll see.
Whatever. Is a UDFA, which is essentially signing votes in the camp invite. Which, good for him. This is good for him. Have you seen the pictures of him on a football field in the NFL?
Is it one? Does it look like one of those Make-A-Wish things? Does he look like a Make-A-Wish?
Just imagine Diego Pavia under center in the NFL.
I can't.
Exactly. It's hilarious. I can't wait for you to find the picture. Like, I'll get it to you during the show, but like, it is. I was like, oh, buddy, we are.
I'm gonna have to hold on. You know what? I'm going to look this up as we speak. Diego.
Well, as we speak, because this is also like part of the joke of this is like when you get the 3-year deal announced, like that's just you're doing an agent's lies for them. And as we talk about kind of the current place,
my God. Oh,
it looks like a Halloween costume.
He looks like a coach's kid out there. He should be. No,
Diego's going to take a few snaps, guys. Just then we'll get back to practice.
Like I thought I was being kind, calling him a Make-A-Wish kid, and damn if he doesn't look like one out there.
I tried. It was like, don't react, because that's exactly what he's talking about. He hasn't seen it, but he's nailed it on the head.
He looks like a Make-A-Wish kid.
Diego Pavia.
Yo.
You know what Diego Pavia is? The poster child for the UFL.
Well, yes, and he's the poster child of what NIL is supposed to be.
God bless. Before the draft, he said, "Why would I pay an agent 3%?" Fantastic question, undrafted rookie. Fantastic question. Look, guys. Diego Pavia, you're right. This is why NIL exists. This is why they're going to put caps on how long you can do it. But like, this is why NIL exists, because if you know physically you have a ceiling of not NFL quarterback, it is incumbent on you to cash out as hard as possible, because that's probably the last time you'll make good money playing football. In UFL, I don't know what they make. I don't know what they make in the UFL. I'm going to tell you right now, it's not enough.
Look, the CFL, again, Canadian Football League has been going on for a long time. Go make your money doing that.
That American cap thing. I don't agree with a lot of the more jingoistic tendencies of our nation, but if the CFL wants to be taken seriously, I'm gonna need you to relax that number of required Canadian-born players.
To be, sir.
We
would never take it serious. We would never take. They can remove that cap, and you still never take it seriously.
Let's go, Grey Cup. I had teammates who played CFL for a couple of years.
Yes, just because they did doesn't mean you'd ever really take it seriously.
I mean, they gonna play football.
You're trying to lie to. You're not only trying to lie to me on this one. You're trying to lie to the listener. Don't do that. Don't do that.
So when an NFL insider reports that a deal like this is a 3-year deal, that's an example of horse trading the insider game.
Mm-hmm.
More people are asking more questions because the Diana Rossini, Mike Vrabel story broke contain, and real people are asking, like, wait a second. Why is no one ever, the questions we've been asking about things like the meatballs head coaches drinking thing. What's his name?
What
Glazer? Jay Glazer.
Jay
Glazer. Meatball. People are asking questions about that now. And I think those are things that, the thing about it is, journalistically, and I love all my sports media friends, but you guys work in the fucking toy department of journalism.
Yes.
And so no one's really been paying attention. But what's happened is real journalism has been gutted. So all we've got left is Pablo Torre winning Pulitzers.
So
which is a real thing that happened, which means Parakeet Cortez has a Pulitzer. I want to make sure everyone knows that. I want to make sure this gets back to him and tell him I said Happy New Year.
Dude, so fun thing that I guess I could reveal on the podcast. Again, I think we talked about this. I used to work with Rossini, right?
So this is twice I've stumbled across this, because apparently Felder had dinner with her once. Like, I didn't know. I know my friends. No, I didn't know you used to work with Rossini. No, I didn't know. In what capacity? On ESPN?
Yeah, this was at ESPN. Okay. This was the 9-month stint at ESPN where I was PAing for SportsCenter.
Okay.
And it was, and granted, every now, like, we used to work the 6 with Michael and Jamel.
I remember those years.
Greatest experience I had. But the other sports centers I would work, the ones that you would find on ESPN News, would feature people like Chris Hassel and a Diana Rossini, or a Jonathan Coachman and a Diana Rossini.
Can I just step in here for the layperson?
Yes.
For you guys who don't know how ESPN works, I don't know. I've never worked there, but I've read literally, those guys have all the fun. I've read too many books about ESPN, and I've had too many friends who've worked there. What they do is they put you on these B and C tier shows, but they put you on a lot of them to essentially maximize your contract. We're going to make you work for every dollar that you have. Mm-hmm. And then, as you're doing, as you reference, auxiliary sports centers, which literally is needed because they've already sold the ad space. Mm-hmm. As you work those, the more dependable you are, the more easy you are to work with. Whatever the things that they're looking for at that moment in the corporate level, you tend to get elevated to bigger shows, which is how we eventually got the 6. it is now, because of the sports landscape media, which is also reflective of a different landscape we're going to talk about at the end of the show, there are more options and places to go.
Yes.
So more people like, I don't know, L. Duncan are saying, you know what, my star is capped out here, and they're not going to give me the opportunities I want, that they're going to let me stretch in other directions. So I don't need ESPN as much as I thought I did.
L is an interesting case in this, and I'm
Yes.
glad we went into the side topic, because L got a lot more money to do a whole lot less, which is the American dream.
And everyone saw.
Yeah.
It wasn't a deal where they were like, I'm going to go be Rich Eisen and bet on myself and build this thing. I'm going to go be Dan Le Batard and build this thing. A lot of those guys have done that. No, she said, oh, someone else wants to bid for my services. They want to give me more freedom to do more things, but to do less of those things and to pay me more.
And it's Netflix, so the checks won't bounce, which is very important in that.
Very important.
Very important.
Especially
those checks won't
media, because in sports media, you're being underwritten these days by our next topic, the last one we're going to get to before we get to the playoffs, Brendan Sorsby, who has retained counsel in what I imagine to be a futile attempt to play football this season. Now, Nata, I talked about this story a couple times on
or ever. Let's bring that out.
So, like, when I slow play a thing, like, you've done this with me before. Like, you knew I was getting to the ever part, right?
I know.
Okay,
I had to.
You had.
I had to. I'm sorry.
You know, words have meanings, right?
Yes, I do.
Did you have to?
I had. Yes, I did.
Okay.
You knew this one was coming anyway.
For those who don't know, what we're not even being a little bit oblique about, Brendan Sorsby, most highly recruited transfer player in the portal this past year, currently the quarterback for Texas Tech. Actually, currently not for quarterback for anyone. He announced, which I guess was ahead of some sort of investigation. I still don't know what he was getting in front of.
Probably Pablo Torre.
He was going to find out, man. He was in rehab for gambling addiction. He is making a tremendous number of bets. Some of them I think are just like me culturally thinking like this is a problem, because some of them are like dollar bets on balls and strikes, which I guess that's just like, if you grew up with this, it's more like that's just how you watch a baseball game when you're there live, which honestly, as someone who bets every year on the over-under and the coin toss at the Super Bowl for over-under for the national anthem, I do see the appeal of small, meaningless bets. However, the big smoking gun here is not only was he betting on his sport while he was playing his sport, he bet on his team while he was playing on his team. We played with Indiana in 2022. He bet on them to win, so yay. A little early, but yay. But also, you can't do that. That's the one. I think that's the one rule. Like I think there's been a lot of people being like, you're changing some rules around. Like Calvin really get caught up with things of that nature. Don't bet on your own team's a pretty scarlet line, right?
It is the line. Like, here's the thing, and I know we're going to get into a little bit more of it, but like, he's not the only person that probably should not be doing football for a while, right? Like, we agree there. But yes, Sorsby alone, he cannot come back. There is no coming back. There is no, if the NCAA rules me ineligible, then I'll go do the supplemental draft, because if you're the NFL, how can you ever let that guy into the building?
Oh, you know what you do? You bring him for the interview and you say, hey, so why didn't you play last year?
Yeah. Or why did you have to get into the supplemental draft?
Yeah. The answer to that question is immediately disqualifying.
Like, you can't let that guy in the building, because you don't know what information. That is a security risk of the highest order. And
it is the second easiest test to pass to become a professional football player. The first one's the drug test that they tell you is coming.
Yes. Which
is why if someone pops, like, I don't moralize over it, but if you do pop at the combine, I immediately know you're a dumb person. Or you have self-control issues, or you have a real deal addiction. Like, those are the three options.
Yes.
None of which you want on your football team.
Exactly. You're a liability.
Your liability. This is the first line. This is the bubble in your name on the Scantron of your job interview. That is the draft.
Yeah.
And you pop.
It's the It's the free points you get for signing your name on the SAT. That's what this is. It's the free points.
Is that true? I always thought that was like an urban legend.
I believe it is actually true. I could be wrong. I believe it's actually true though. But it's one of those. But it's one of those things. Like, this is the easiest pass fail that you can do, and he failed miserably. Mind you, he's not alone, because again, if the Cincinnati folks knew about this, let him compete and everything, they need to go too, because last I checked, they were the adults.
So that's some of the early reporting we've seen about this, that there was apparently knowledge of this at Cincinnati. It'll become a shell game of who knew what when. It always does. Spoilers, an SID will probably burn for this. Sports information
at minimum.
That'll be the first. When that one falls, we'll see how the public reacts. But yeah, it's all bad, guys. You guys we've introduced a real deal mental health crisis in the name of capitalism during the pandemic, and we did it by choice. And now, good luck loving a game without knowing the spread, man.
Yeah, like, as someone that thought a bunch of this would have a lot more guardrails and forgot America was going to be America about all of this, I come with a big mea culpa, because this has become.
I've been super annoying about this since it started, because I saw it was that. I was like, hey guys, this is a horrible idea.
And as someone that's
this is, you're having a lot of faith in them to say, well, that money faucet sure does need a regulator. We don't need to turn it off at all.
The reason I thought that is because I thought they wouldn't allow. The one thing that they can't let this do is taint the on-field product, because no one will ever bet on it again. And they keep
You have a lot of faith in the lack of stupidity of Americans.
Yes, I know has been my downfall at times. It's been my downfall. So I assumed that they wouldn't tamper with this. I was wrong. I thought the casinos I thought the books would be a lot more stringent on this than they have been, to be quite honest with you. I thought the books would be a lot more stringent on this.
When you add rules, you limit money.
But you still get money.
Not as much and not as quickly, because guess what? They invested a lot from other people's money to make these bets. And now they, just like with the ESPN, they got to fill the airtime. Hey, buddy, they got to pay back these investors.
Very true. Some of whom may or may not be the PIF, for all we know.
You mean gambling money could be dirty?
Dare I say it? Dare I say it? Again,
Well,
I'm going to go lock my doors right quick.
What's up?
I'm going to go lock my door.
No one's listening. It's fine.
We say that now.
Yeah, right? We go to the NBA. Let's talk about round one. Let's start in the West. We're just Thunder Suns sweep. The takeaway is the Thunder still aren't on full strength. They still can't be stopped by someone like the Suns. Devin Booker. Do you believe in the ability for that team with that ownership to get it right in Phoenix? Because he's not getting any younger, and I know that sounds silly, but it's very true.
I believe in the want to. Me and you have seen enough in sports to know that want to by the money guy is all you ever really need. And if you don't believe me, go ask Steve Ballmer.
That's a case of a bit too much want to, I think. A little tweak of the want to, a little turn it down some, maybe.
But I'm not wrong. If the money guy is about want to, then they'll be fine. They'll figure it out. They'll get the guys. Like, I wasn't a big Jordan Ott fan. I wasn't a big Brian Gregory fan. And they managed to shut me up because I didn't think they were going to be that good this year. I thought they were going to be giving up a significant pick to Houston. Fooled me. Could have fooled me on that one.
Another game just tipped. The second round game. We'll talk about Spurs Blazers. Wemby went down with the quote unquote concussion. He doesn't think it was one. It is what it is. He was protected. Now he's back playing and destroying people in the playoffs. Trailblazers. Speaking owners who are the opposite of opulent, this cheap motherfucker here, trying to run off Thiago Splitter. And I know you're listening saying Thiago Splitter from the Spurs. Yep, that Thiago Splitter. He's now the interim coach because what happened with their coach? Don't ask what happened to their coach. What the bottom line is, he's been interviewing coaches, lowballing them apparently, enough to where not only is it happening, but it's getting to the media. Nata, what the fuck, man?
So I have a little bit of because Dundon owns the Carolina Hurricanes, and I have friends that
Sorry.
I understand. I have friends that cover the Hurricanes.
Ooh.
None of them are surprised by any of this nickel and dime shit. None of them. He thought that the NHL was going to be the NBA and he could come in and do the same things. And he does not realize that these are black men with personalities and you can't do the same things. More importantly, in order to coach these guys, you need a little bit of a personality and an ego and a malleable one, because again, it's never going to be your way or the highway in NBA coaching. If you want that, you got to go to college basketball, and maybe not even the men's college basketball anymore to do that. Maybe not even the women's. Maybe you need to just go find somewhere else to coach. I say all that to say this guy is in over his skis. Mm-hmm. I trust him to get it right, but I don't expect him. He'll get it right eventually. Mm-hmm. It's just going to cost them. It's going to cost them some years. And
you believe in the malleability of billionaires in a way that makes zero sense, my friend. He did not get to where he was, where he is, where he aspires to continue to be by up at the sign of resistance. What you and I know is that Paul Allen used to do above and beyond. He was Mark Cuban before he was Mark Cuban because he had to convince these motherfuckers to come to Portland, Oregon.
Yes.
He doesn't seem to understand the position that he's in. And this 7 seed might be the best thing they see for a while there. Maybe he does figure it out. It will cost time, money, and equity with the team, with the city, if he doesn't fucking move him. Because if you ask me, it sounds like he's bottoming out an asset to lift it and move it somewhere else. But hey, I'm just one guy trying to pay attention to what these assholes are doing.
I don't disagree with that. I just wonder where you go. Seattle's taken. Vegas is taken. You gonna move them to fucking Louisville? Good luck. Like, where do you move them?
It's a great question.
Like, that's the thing about NBA relocation at this point. Unless you're telling me you're going to move them from Portland to Vancouver, and Vancouver's entirely too white and too Canadian for me to ever.
Yeah, you can't go back to a team you fail in. A city you fail in.
No, exactly. You can't go there. So where do you go?
Wait. Oh, Seattle's an expansion. I keep forgetting. And so
Seattle's an expansion. Seattle and Vegas, and they're the only two. And Vegas may not get done. Remember that.
Move Portland to Seattle and open and expansion Blazers.
I don't think they're going to do that.
I'm just fucking around.
I know, but you see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, no, you're not right. It's at this point, it's a geography play. It's like, hey guys, we're out of land, which opens up to the thing you and I talked about earlier, NBA Europe.
Yeah, like NBA Europe is going to be a thing, and the reason it's going to work. And I know this is a small side tangent that I know like 5 people maybe care about, but the reason
good thing I'm one of them.
Yeah. The reason it's going to work is because it's going to be NBA Premier League with a few European teams, and they will mix in the FIBA. They're going to, again, FIBA teams that are going to get into it. You're going to get your Real Madrids. You're going to get it's going to work because you're going to get the right kind of money, and by the right, I mean white. And therefore, it's going to work. And we're going to see
PIF money. They've got $6 billion and it's freed up. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah. Again, the coffers at Florida State and Texas A&M might be a little less because of NBA Europe, but that's to be expected.
Florida State had 1 player drafted this year.
I'm surprised it was that many.
Florida had 2 kickers drafted.
I'm surprised it was that many.
I can't believe you know who had fewer players than Florida State drafted?
Who?
Well, you can actually add them together. It's the same number. Bill Belichick and Deion Sanders.
Wow.
It's almost like it doesn't work.
You mean to tell me that you need college coaches actually versed in college sports to make college football work? That is a shocker, Palm. What else are you gonna tell me?
I'll tell you what's a real shocker. Minnesota shitting on the Nuggets. And I know.
Dog.
Two teams that don't like each other, but I watched Minnesota lose every guard on their fucking roster.
Dog.
And playoffs started. I'm so glad we did this again. I said to you, if Aaron Gordon plays, the Nuggets can win. If he doesn't, they're wrapped. And I didn't know how right I was. I did not imagine in that scenario you wouldn't have Ant and Dante DiVincenzo.
And did you expect Rudy Gobert to have the series of his life?
Kind of.
Like,
we've been giving that poor man hell for like 6 years.
But he deserves it. Like again, here's the thing. I would feel worse for Rudy Gobert if he wasn't Mr. Cough Cough. He wasn't Mr. Cough. Like, he earned that.
That one hurts him. I'm trying to be objective. You
can't be patient zero in the NBA and be an asshole in the media room. I'm sorry. It doesn't work that way.
I'm not going to push back because I agree wholeheartedly. I will say this. There are style and fight type things where you're like, oh, Rudy Gobert's a great matchup for this. Rudy Gobert's a great matchup for Jokic, especially when Jokic looks hurt.
Yeah. Like, Jokic just looked wore down. And
well, do you think they miss Mike Malone yet?
No.
Okay.
No.
It's a fair question.
Because the thing I keep coming back to is, if the Kroenkes had to fire both him and Booth, I think everybody was tired of everyone's shit in there.
That's fine, but like
the results are going to suck. Yeah, the results are going to suck, and you can't fire Adelman because then it's a admission of failure. Even though I would fire him, and I'd call see what Mike Budenholzer wants to do with his time, quite literally. If I were,
we're going to talk about a coach that should be fired a little bit later on, and one coach who was already fired. Last series out west, Lakers Rockets. Nata, 40 years old. I saw Jordan play live. The greatest basketball player I've ever seen in my entire life was LeBron James.
I can't argue with anyone that says LeBron is the GOAT. I will not argue with anybody. You want to have that? That is your right. Because there's not enough empirical data to argue against it anymore. This man was doing 96 Magic, and it was working. And only because they got old fast did the Rockets even have a chance at 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
So look, whatever he does against the Thunder, even though they're probably going home in 5 tops.
I love you gave them 5, dog. What's up? All right. Get one, old man.
They're going to get 1 because I just wonder how.
I wanted to say this out loud to you if no one else hears it. If that Slovenian boy come back,
he doesn't look like it.
It doesn't look like it. Does not. Caveat.
Does not look like it.
This is not going to happen. If they find a way, brother, Shea couldn't stop Luka if you gave him a gun.
Fair.
But he's got all the dudes behind him. I know what you're saying. Look, there's a phalanx behind him. I'm just saying, if you give me ISO Luka versus Shea,
they got a chance. Yeah, they got a puncher's chance.
Food.
Yeah,
but
they got a chance.
That's not going to happen. So, but the biggest thing, you know what you can do? You know what I would do?
What would you do?
I don't know if he'll do this because I don't know if the rest of the roster is strong enough to hold up for it. Roll LeBron at the 1.
I would.
Let him expose him in the high post, high pick and roll stuff. Let him control the action. This has been literally since he started. I was like, the end of LeBron is literally going to be, what if Magic Johnson was bigger and faster than everybody else in the court too? Like, I literally said that, and I'm like, I didn't expect him to develop the 3-ball. Like, that's truly been a bonus. Didn't see that coming.
Yes,
but I should have, because he's the most complete basketball player I've ever seen in my entire life.
So the question I have for you on that is, do you really want to expose LeBron to all the punishment that's going to come with that?
No,
Because I don't. Because that's
I don't.
that's the thing I worry about.
You're not wrong.
Is like then it's not just Caruso. It's Caruso and then one of the Williams.
It's the waves. It's the waves that come at him. Yeah.
Okay.
I will say this: if he's not going to be your one, you've got to run the offense like through him at the high post.
A high post, yeah.
You got to let him just operate from there and just you get him Marcus Smart. If Marcus Smart isn't hitting, then just don't let him shoot. But you need him on the floor just to be able to continue to translate things for LeBron. Those are two of the smartest, highest IQ guys I've seen on a court together, which allows them to control the pacing of a game in a way that the Thunder love to.
Mm-hmm.
He's coming off injuries. Like AR,
yeah.
I don't know what you can expect out of that spot right now. The fact that he's playing is gutty as all hell.
So here's the question I have for you: like,
what you got?
If you're Oklahoma City, do you just roll with Caruso on AR? And if LeBron gives us 40, 15 every night, but we win by 6, 7, like that's okay. But LeBron's going to get his stuff. Nobody else will.
Counterpoint. If I am the Thunder, my goal is to win every game by 10 to 15. Because who had the best win-loss in those type of differentials all season? The Lakers.
Lakers, yeah.
Who's unaccustomed to playing tight games? The Thunder. The best way for them to win, pull away, let the late rush come because the goal's going to come because LeBron's a psychopath. But fend it off, keep it at double digits, never let them get within punch strike. Like that's what happened. And I don't think they would melt like the Rockets did, obviously. But no. I don't care how good, talented, championship you are. There's literally no one on the planet who's got more experience in high pressure, end of game situations in the playoffs than LeBron James. It's just fair. A larger data set. He knows more on how to behave, on how to control, on how to operate in those paradigms that I don't want to fuck with it at all personally.
I get that. But if you're telling me I have LeBron versus Caruso and probably a double coming from Chet to close a game versus Shea versus whomever they want to throw out there, I'm taking.
I want to see Marcus Smart getting Shea's shirt, baby.
I'm taking Shea.
I am too. Offense beats defense every time. I think he can make it suck for him.
I do, but I also wonder because Shea's so good at drawing fouls, if we're not going to see a couple of Marcus Smart 3 minutes and done.
Okay,
3 minutes
that's
and done
a level.
for the quarter.
That's a level. I appreciate that. Second round series in the West. Look, man, soul singing, flower bringing. I'm glad the Wolves. I told everyone on this podcast that y'all all need to be cheering for the Nuggets because if you love ethical hoops and you love other teams winning shit, then you need the Spurs to have to play the Nuggets because baby, Rudy Gobert. Remember? Do you remember what Big Vic said when Rudy won that Defensive Player of the Year a couple years ago?
It's the last one he'll ever win.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that well. By the way, you notice how the internet loves Rudy Gobert after that last series? It dies in a week. It dies because that man is about to get flambéed.
I can't believe they were putting Big Vic on national television. Y'all about to see some shit.
Hold on. Let's even go back to the last series.
And the Timberwolves are out of guards. Y'all about to see some shit.
Dog, think about it like this. When have you ever seen a team in a playoff series go down 15 twice and then win the game by 20? When have you ever seen it? I ain't never seen that. Never. And Vic did it twice.
And the thing about it is, it's not just Vic. What y'all gonna realize, the rest of them dudes is cold as fuck too, and they get emboldened by Big Vic because he's like the people who are like, I don't want to be this motherfucker's like, I'm the best. Get on my back.
And he allows you to get in people's shorts because you know what's gonna happen. Even if you think you have a mid range, no, you don't, because Vic's gonna send that shit to the third row, And you might think you have a drive. No, you don't. Like, there was some wild stat, and I think it was like the most driving kicks. Like, Vic forces the most driving kicks of any big. Like, I forgot who it was. I think it was Tom Haberstroh that had that stat where it's like Vic forces the most driving kicks of any big in the league.
That's called smart basketball.
Yeah. Like,
let's go out east.
Yeah.
Look at these series. Knicks, Hawks. It's the Hawks. I will say this. I didn't believe in the Knicks, and I don't know what the Hawks did to make them mad in the first two games, but running the offense through Cat seems to have worked for now. Good for them.
And it looks like it's working now against the Sixers, too.
The Sixers just tired, dog.
Yeah.
This is the you came off a 7 there. A tight 7,
but also
like an easy 6.
But also, again, they got rid of Boston, though, which is the
Let's go there
thing.
next, because I want to give a shout out to a player or someone who's going to the game this fall, because we got 2 of his series occurring, and that's teams that blew a 3-1 lead.
Jeez. Oh, wow.
Because the Celtics were up 3-1, and it never happened in Boston ever in the history of Boston, but it happened in Philadelphia. You know who the coach was? Doc fucking Rivers.
Of course it did.
What? All right, I'm going to say a thing. I need you to stay with me. Fire Joe Mazzulla.
Not yet.
Joe Mazzulla has, in the last 3 years, lost to a 7 seed and an 8 seed in the first round of the playoffs.
Fair.
Joe Mazzulla started a lineup that had played 0 seconds together all season to start Game 7. A game he lost by 9. A game that could have been won if he not fucked around with the first shift.
Mm-hmm.
Fire Joe Mazzulla.
I understand that. It's a little too soon.
Okay.
It is a little too soon. I do think that, like, again, they're going to take this as a gap year thing where they're going to experiment with the whole idea of a gap year. They're going to say, this doesn't count. Now, mind you, I say all this, and if they're going to start jettisoning people from this team for doing dumb shit, Joe Mazzulla is not the first one I'm not getting rid of. The guy that decides I'm going to go 24 hours on a Twitch stream and complain about flopping, that guy, despite all the growth he's done, because Palm, let me ask you a question. Have you ever seen a guy that people keep trying to tell you is smart do so many dumb things that tell me that he in fact is actually not as smart?
Have I ever met a wide receiver? Yes, I have.
Fair.
Like, y'all getting mad at a basketball player being a basketball player? What are we talking? He's complaining about the refs. No, that's what they do.
It's not even about
he believes conspiracy against him. Talk to me again about your frozen envelopes. Like, what are we talking about? We're upset that, look, okay, is he a weirdo? Yeah. Does he talk like he thinks he's smarter than he is? Of course he does. I would too if I was that rich, that young, and you couldn't tell me shit. Guess what? I'd be pretty annoying too. He read a book or 3. Why y'all mad because he's smart? Oh,
sir.
I'm sorry. These are immaterial things that happen after the season. I'm talking about a head fucking coach who started 5 motherfuckers who had never shared an NBA floor together in Game 7.
I'm just assuming
and to put those on a similar plane is irresponsible, because Jaylen Brown, that tiger went tiger. That's what Jaylen Brown's gonna do no matter what, whether it happened 24 hours or 2 months from now, and on a Netflix documentary that you see years later.
To be fair, if he does that 2 months from now, do you know what I'm saying? Do you know what I'm saying about this? Absolutely fucking nothing.
The same thing you should be saying now about it, because he behaved in a way that's consistent with his character. He'd have been weirder if he was like, you know what, we just didn't have it this year. We did the best we could, and that'd have been weird.
No, that would have shown growth. That would have shown tangible personal growth,
which would have been weird.
Touche. Fuck it, you got me on that one. You fucking got me on that one. You got me.
I will say this. All jokes aside, fuck Boston. It's really fun to watch them lose.
Exactly.
Like, seriously. Cavs Raptors. This should not have been close as it was. But Jared Allen figuring out a way to make something happen that third quarter.
That's the best Jared Allen game that he'll probably ever play.
I don't know, man. The Pistons big men look like food after last series.
Yeah. It's a different type. Like, I think it's one thing to go up against Paolo and Wendell Carter, who are basically like athletic, like they're chiseled out of granite and they can move. Yeah. It's a whole other thing to deal with wiry, strong dudes. Duran's gonna have a bounce back series. You're gonna see a bounce back series from Duran. I mean, if we're talking about guys that have had games of their lives, Tobias Harris in that game 7 had the game of his life.
Put it on.
I mean, dare I say it, Pistons in 5.
Stones in 5. Okay, all right. Well, counterpoint. We've yet to get good Donovan Mitchell and James Harden.
Oh, one of those I can expect. The other one,
I'm curious which one is which.
I expect something good from Donovan. I do not expect anything.
This is wild. This is why I don't like what we've done with this flattening of NBA discourse. James Harden's only bad in closeouts.
Fair.
Early in the series, he gonna put some shit. Hi, James. You're the only game everyone's watching. Are you going to shrink in that moment? Is that what we're accustomed to out of James Harden?
That's fair.
Like, this is an MVP. Like I do understand, like, it's kind of jokes. This is an MVP we're talking about, a multiple time scoring champion.
A future Hall of Famer, yes.
A future Hall of Famer, first ballot, who is the third option on a talented Cavs team. Like, the business thing is very exciting, but the thing you said to me months ago is burned into my brain. Who else can hit a jumper?
You're right.
Kate Cunningham apparently is God on fire when he is back into a corner, but
technically Tobias Harris was the answer. Technically, Tobias Harris
was for at least one game.
No, actually,
like right, down the stretch. I'll be honest. I wasn't. I was only watching to see if they were going to end up firing their magic coach, and they did.
Oh no, Jamal! We all knew Jamal. He could have won that series.
If there was a run to save a job, pushing the 1 seed to 7, that's like we at least we at least all got to go to lunch and see if we could talk this shit through.
Palm, he didn't want to stay. He's got the New Orleans job lined up, basically.
See, that's and stuff. I don't know. Do you think everyone's privy to that kind of knowledge, sir?
It was all over the internet, willy nilly. Come on now. Everybody knows he's.
You talking about free time? I haven't seen an episode of Mall yet. They're all out. I haven't seen one of them.
Fair.
I don't have a lot of free time, buddy.
That's true. Again, my child isn't moving yet. Yours is. I keep forgetting that.
Like, we're gonna start giving her solids. This motherfucker yelled at me for yogurt. I want yogurt. Oh my god. Food motivated though. You can control them with a sandwich. Knicks Sixers, like, this could be it for the Knicks, man. This could be the year.
Sir, I don't believe it. I have to believe that, or better yet, you know what? How about this? How about I run this by you? Okay. Let's say the Knicks. Let's say the Knicks make it all the way to the finals. Who's going to be there to deny them and embarrass them on the world's largest stage?
Couldn't be happier for Big Vic.
Exactly.
Couldn't be happier. Couldn't happen to a better franchise. To be obliterated by the Spurs in 4.
Like, again, we all remember the 99 series, right? Where Tim Duncan
so much worse.
Again, Tim Duncan essentially announced his arrival to the NBA stage by obliterating the 8-seed Knicks. And I believe it was 5 games, if I remember
Without
right.
Patrick Ewing. I do want to just say that out loud.
Fair. But again, Tim Duncan announced his arrival. Vic's about to do the same thing.
Vic's coming in. Vic's kicking in the door. Tim Duncan's like, by the way, I'm here. Vic's got a shotgun or whatever the French equivalent. I don't know. That was a mean French joke. I didn't mean it. Please don't swap my shot out of nowhere, Big Vic. He's essentially a horror movie.
Remember, Vic got them goons, so let's be careful. Vic does have them goons. They're called Castle. They're called Justin Champagny, who we found out is from Staten Island, which scares me more about him than anything else.
Very confusing gentleman, that man.
Yes, yes, it is.
So I think the UD pod, as we've reached the final 8 teams, we've got to be. This is a Spurs podcast, brother. I don't see because it's and again it's rock paper scissors out west. The Spurs obliterate the Thunder. Like the Thunder have no answer for them, and Vic, for very good reasons, in his own mind apparently, detests Chet Holmgren. So this ass kicking is going to get personal, and that one's going to be a fun series. And then out of the East, who do you see? Because tonight's action out East is giving me pause on this, but this is, in my mind, the best Joel Embiid shot at a finals that I've ever seen.
Yes,
because there's no one who matches up with him physically in that post, and if he can, obviously 7-game series,
if he can hold up,
that if he can hold up, and if they can find ways to exploit that, that's an unbeatable pair. But right now, like into the third, they're down 30-31. So like game one is a wash. You just came off a 7-game war. You and the other team just beat up on the Hawks for 6 games. So like it is what it is. Right off game one, get back for game two. I do think it's going to be interesting to see kind of what happens next with them. So that's going to be interesting to see. Who do you have coming out of the East?
This is probably going to make me look stupid, but I'm like, something tells me it's not the Knicks year. Like the Knicks come close, and they trip up against the like something.
You mean Mike Brown doesn't give you confidence?
It's not Mike Brown that I worry about.
I'm just saying it's an add to confidence. I'm not.
No, it does not add. It does not. But it's not even the Mike Brown thing. It's the Becky Hammond of it all, where she's going to, again, remind you, hey, guys, 6'1" guards, and I'm being generous with the 6'1". 6'1" guards can't win. You can't win with that being the hub.
So that's my big wrinkle for the Sixers series is that, like, the Sixers have big wings, big guards.
Yes.
This should be a problem for the Knicks. And tonight, obviously, is what it is, but, like, this should structurally be an issue.
It should, but again,
it turns out to.
It should, but then you remember Tyrese Maxey is 6'1", and then it becomes a wash.
It truly does.
And so it's like I want to see Philly do it because Philly would be the best. But there's something about this Detroit team, and I think they're going to reestablish dominance after tasting their own blood after 7 games. And what they're going to do to Cleveland is they're going to sit there and they're going to wear those dudes down. And you're going to see. So, again, they're going to wear those dudes down.
Yeah.
And I think, and then what ends up happening is no one can guard Cade against the Knicks.
No.
Duran figures it out, and we end up with Spurs Detroit.
Oh, buddy. Poor Motor City. Before we get out of here, I want to talk about one thing. I'm going to do a longer conversation about TKO and how they're killing combat sports on Friday with Felder because he doesn't like wrestling. So I could kind of explain. I could kind of be dual explaining. Yeah. That's be fun. But for you and I are here. We're black men of a certain age. We watch Kofi Kingston. We watch Xavier Woods. We watch Big E turn what should have been a nothing gimmick into something that is burned into professional wrestling fans' minds for the last 11, 12 years. I'm going to for those who don't know, the New Day were released, or not released, they asked for their separation with the WWE this week. This comes on the heels of WWE announcing on the one hand record profits, on the other hand asking certain talents to take 50% pay cuts, a thing that's been confirmed by a lot of people at this point. So I guess, Nata, I cede the floor to you to kind of kick us off here. New Day, man. Say what you will, but they truly did rock.
They might be, for my money, the most influential black act in wrestling, bar none. People are gonna talk about Big Cat Ernie Ladd, and I'll hear that argument. I will, again, some will say The Rock, even though I would say he counts, but he doesn't count for multiple reasons. But I think we have to start looking at black wrestlers pre-New Day and post-New Day. For me, for my money, you don't get a Javon Evans if you don't get the New Day. You don't see like the Swerve Stricklands of the world. You don't get the AJ Francises of the world. You don't get the wrestlers that can actually be themselves.
You know who said something about them 3 weeks ago before their match?
Oh.
Willow Nightingale. I never.
Oh, I did see that.
She never would have had the freedom to express joy as a black person in a wrestling ring until the New Day came along. I want just everyone to sit with that sentence.
Yes. And
sorry.
No, like you brought up, they were pitched a gimmick. They were put together with a gimmick that should have gotten them all featured in Endeavor. And they turned that into one of the most lucrative acts to where I would call them the number 2 tag team that I've ever seen in my lifetime. And the only one I would ever put above them are Jimmy and Jey Uso. They are still the most, they will not get their flowers. They will not get properly recognized for everything they've done for at least 20 years, because they're the ones that made WWE embrace being quote unquote online, because Up, Down, Down, the brainchild of one Austin Creed, like when I say they're one of the most influential black acts, I'm not joking. Where if they were white, we would talk about them in the ways we would talk about a Kenny Omega.
If they were white, they'd be the Shield.
Yes. We would venerate them in that manner. I will let you see. I will cede the floor to you.
I'm a Ron Simmons guy.
Yeah.
So like Ron Simmons winning the WCW championship or NWA championship means a lot to me. The night Kofi pinned Bryan Danielson at WrestleMania, and they took that belt that Daniel's been carrying around working his eco-friendly gimmick.
Yes, exactly.
Planet's champion. Beautiful gimmick. Great storyline. And they pulled out the gold, that belt, the belt. For the first time. Like, one of the big things in wrestling is if you hide something for a while, then you bring it back out, it's immediately over. By letting him be the one to reintroduce the belt to the audience, you saw tears in the ring, you saw tears with his family, you saw tears from black wrestling fans and wrestlers across the world. I don't know what's next for them. I do think it's, like you said, a testament to their longevity, their influence, all the outpouring you're seeing across the community the last couple of days. And I think that they did something, and I'm going to have to explain this again to Felder, why what they did was so tremendous. Because you got to understand, wrestling promoters are designed to make money. I know that sounds weird to people. I know you watch AEW, you're like, this can't possibly, and you're right, because it's just
exactly
whatever. It's neither here nor there. It's designed to make money. The whole premise is make money, and it's harder to make money in a match where you've got to pay 5 people, 4 wrestlers, and a ref, as opposed to when you've got to pay 3.
Yeah.
So tag team wrestling is always a hard sell. What the New Day did alongside with the Usos had become so undeniable that you had to build a division around them, because they had to have viable talent to be on screen with every week. They got people paid. They got people fed. They got people contracts that normally would not have gotten those opportunities in WWE. Look who they purged in this most recent purge. Your tag acts. They're all gone. So when I say influential and groundbreaking, I don't just mean as black wrestling acts. I mean as a professional wrestling act who changed the booking strategy of the territory. Because not only were they fire in the ring, I want to see merch numbers for the last 12 years. I want to see who won this motherfucker, who consistently sat at the top through heel work, through face work, through injuries, through suspension, through sex tapes.
Yeah, there is that.
They stayed making money, and that's what this business is about, making money. I love wrestling as an art form. It's about generating, making money. It's about getting people to the doors to make the dollar signs go ching ching. I get that. But they did that too. And to be asked to take half of what we've established your value to be is a firing by any other name.
Yeah, because they didn't want you around.
The way you demonstrate respect in the corporate world is through money, particularly in the sports world. It's through money. It's through guarantees in your contracts. It's through security. To remove that is to signify we do not respect you. I hope more talent, when this comes up to them, they also recognize that they too have value outside of the value that's been assigned to them by these, again, Friday podcasts. Nata, tell everyone where they can find the things that you do in all the sports.
So what I will tell you is, before I get into that, I love the New Day. I love Austin Creed. I love Kofi Kingston. I don't ever want to see them work a match. Go do stuff with Kaz, do Kofi Mania every April, make it one big Summer Jam situation, and then Austin Creed, just work your YouTube game. I don't need to see another match with them ever again in my life. On top of that, you can find all
podcasts.
Oh, come on. You know I'm right.
I'm greedy and selfish, and MCMG are free. And yeah, man. Let's go show how good tag team wrestling can be.
Sir, I don't want to see them diminish.
Tony Khan loves to prove a point by spending a bunch of money. Prove me right, Tony.
I don't need to see them on a diminished stage. Like, I really don't.
No, I'm not doing that. No, go give your plug. Let's get out of here. That was ridiculous. That was rude. That was rude.
But accurate. But so you can follow everything I do, Nata the Scribe, on the Hellscape and on Blue Sky. I do a little bit of work with Yahoo Sports, a lot of their behind-the-scenes work on some of their podcasts, Kevin O'Connor Show, Dunker Spot, as well as The Big Number, a lot of their NBA properties. I do a little bit of work with them on that. Please go check it out. It's really, really great work. Outside of that, we're still figuring out what dispatches for Spectrum is going to be in terms of a Substack. It may turn into a YouTube page. I have no idea what's going to go on with that, but we're just figuring it out. So just check Nata the Scribe on either the Hellscape or Blue Sky, and you'll find out as soon as I figure it out.
My man, I appreciate you doing this with me. Always a joy. And this was nice. It was amicable. There was the only real heat is when you stepped on the show deliberately. But beyond that, like, I think that this has been a real. That was not a thank you, for the record. I didn't say thank you.
You're welcome.
Again, that's not what I said. But I appreciate everyone listening. Thanks for coming out. We're going to have Felder Friday this week by come hell or high water. I'm making it happen. Got to talk to Felder about professional wrestling and see why you should care, because it's actually signifying the death of the power of the American worker. But that's neither here nor there. I'm also, unfortunately, going to be on the Insanity Check this weekend. I apologize in advance for everything that happens in the next 4 to 5 days. It's not me directly, but it might be me a little bit.
Yes, it is.
I am willing to accept might be. I'm not going to. Only children and Sith deal in absolutes, sir. Ha! Happy May 4th. That was your show, guys. Make sure you check out all the offerings of the MTR Network, including my spot at the Insanity Check. Oh, check out MCU Later. I was on with Rich and WH Park talking about the most recent episode of Daredevil last week. Go join the Patreon, listen to my episode. Tell me how funny and great and insightful I was talking about comic books, so I do more of it. But that is it for now. We're back Friday with Felder Friday. That was your show. There is no outro. See you guys later this week.